the successor to the MG ZS EV. To be honest, guys, I think we all know the MG ZS EV is not one of the better EVs you can buy. It's okay, but there's a new version coming. So really this video is to let you know about the new version, but also let you know not to buy the current version because the new version will be significantly better. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. I'm a pretty big fan of MG EVs. They're really good value, especially if you can get them on a deal. So they have some amazing deals. I mean, what, $27,000 drive away for the cheapest version. In my opinion right now though, the best value EV you can get in Australia is the Great Wall Motors Aura. The long range, the extended range. They're selling those for $27,000 drive away. That's the best value deal because they've got a 63 kilowatt hour battery. And it's way cheaper than a Toyota Corolla. Anyhow, this is a different kind of car here. The MG ZS is a direct rival to the BYD Atto 3. It's a very similar size to the BYD Atto 3. That tells you all you really need to know. It's about 4.4 meters long, right? So the MG S5 is the replacement for the ZS EV, and it's built on a dedicated EV platform, I believe, which means it's going to be definitely a better car. Whenever you build an EV on a platform that's intended for plug-in hybrids or EVs, there's going to be some compromises. There is 3 battery options for this car, which apparently is going to be due in dealerships. I think from April to June, sometime from April to June next year, so pretty soon. The smallest battery is a 49 kilowatt hour battery, an LFP battery. The next size is a 62 kilowatt hour LFP battery as well. And the next one up from that is a 64 kilowatt hour nickel manganese cobalt battery. All of these batteries, I believe, are coming from CATL, the biggest battery manufacturer in the world. And the reason is because MG is owned by SAIC Motors, and SAIC Motors and CATL, they have a joint venture partnership. They work together on a lot of things. So that's who they're coming from. You might be thinking, oh, the 62 kilowatt battery and the 64 kilowatt battery, they're very similar size. Doesn't mean they're going to get similar range. I believe the 64 kilowatt battery might get about 10% more range than the lithium iron phosphate battery. Remember, energy density is different in different batteries. So there's people making some bizarre comments saying, why are they the same size battery? Very similar. Well, I just explained why. Charging speed is different as well. So you might find, we don't know exactly yet, but you might find that similarly sized LFP battery will charge slower than that slightly bigger NMC battery. So what do we know else other than that? Well, apparently there is a Com model, a Lux model grade. It looks like there's also Excite and Essence variants. Comfort and Luxury is the reference for Com. Lux is luxury. So there'll be a comfort model and a luxury model. Not sure how many models it's going to be, but that's all we know so far. Power, 125 kilowatt, 250 newton meters. The same rear electric motor, identical to what's in the MG4, and that's fine. It's rear-wheel drive. There is an all-wheel drive version as well that'll be coming, but most models that I think most people will buy will be rear-wheel drive. So that is one benefit. I think that's better than having a front-wheel drive EV. In most cases, the rear-wheel drive is a better choice. And car manufacturers have mentioned why. I've mentioned why in numerous videos. So yeah, there's certainly packaging reasons where it's beneficial for rear-wheel drive. So what else do we know? 30 to 80% charging is 26 minutes. That's for the 49 kilowatt hour battery. 21 minutes is for the 62 kilowatt hour battery. I don't like manufacturers doing the 30 to 80% number. It just confuses everyone because a lot of other manufacturers will give a 10 to 80%. Some others will give a 20 to 80%. I think the best number we should stick with is either 10 to 80% or 20 to 80%. When you say 30 to 80%, it's like, well, why not go 40 to 80%? Oh, no. Let's just do 50 to 80%. When does it end? When does it stop? So what that means, I think, is that smaller LFP battery is you're probably looking at about 35 minutes from 20 to 80% and about maybe 26, 27 minutes from 20 to 80%. So that's not too bad. For example, my EV, the Xpeng G6 long range, that'll charge in about 20 minutes from 20 to 80%, a bit faster, and it's got a bigger battery. So you can see the difference in charging speed between this EV and something like an Xpeng G6. What is the range? Well, CLTC range for the smallest battery is 425 kilometers. That'll work out to be about 350 kilometers WLTP. The bigger battery packs are 515 kilometers for LFP and 525 kilometers for the NMC. Not a huge difference, only 10 kilometers. But I think, like I said before, I believe the charging speed is going to be different. But what does that work out to in WLTP? Well, that smaller battery, 515 kilometers, is probably going to be at 440 kilometers. And I'd say that the bigger battery, or slightly bigger NMC battery, will be about 450 kilometers. So not a big difference. That's what I would estimate. So similar range to an Atto 3, maybe just a little bit more range. As I mentioned before, size is similar to an Atto 3, it's just a tiny little bit bigger, 4,476 millimeters long, 1,849 millimeters wide, and 1,621 millimeters tall. So the interior is a big upgrade versus the existing MG ZS. It gets a 10.25 instrument display for the driver and a 15.6, which is pretty big, central touchscreen display. I think this is going to be a great car, guys. I really think it's going to be a huge improvement over the ZS EV. Is it a car I'd buy for myself personally? No, probably not. It doesn't really suit what I'm after. It doesn't really have the kind of boot space I'm after to carry bikes and surfboards and other things like that. But this would be a really good car for a couple, for example. And it should be priced pretty competitively. My expectation would be around 27,000 US dollars. So probably, between, I'd say the starting price might be around $38,000 Australian, up to maybe $48,000 for the all-wheel drive long-range version of this car. That's in Australian dollar prices. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments. BYD Atto 3 Rival, which is, it's coming to Australia, it's coming to many markets. I believe it's coming to the UK, Europe as well. Sorry, Americans, once again, you miss out. Well, it's priced from 14,000 US dollars in China. But is it any good? Is it like a legitimate rival? Is it a vehicle you should have on your radar? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. Great to have you with us. And I want to say a big thank you to our Patreon supporters, YouTube members. Obviously, this is my main job. So anything I get from this enables me to make more videos and obviously to support the family. So I want to say thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon and as YouTube members as well. Now, some videos are YouTube member videos only. So you do get that as a perk if you become a member of the channel. The MG ES5 is, well, it's now on sale in China. It'll come to other countries worldwide, I believe, within the next 4 to 5 months. Price range starts at 14,000 US dollars. Now, this is technically a global model. It's technically meant to be exported to Europe. So I don't know how that's going to go now that there's these big taxes now on MG, on SAIC, 52%, something like that in total, crazy numbers. Now, of course,